Akomu sat outside his mud house, staring into the void. His children were asleep without eating anything. Their stomachs were empty, their ribs visible under their frail skin. His wife, Morayo, had long given up hope, whispering prayer that seems to go unanswered. Poverty had gripped their family from generations to generations, and Akomu had had enough. Akomu has looked for different ways to provide for his family, even if it is just daily feeding fees for himself, his wife, and his children. He has worked as a farmer, he has worked as a hunter, even as a carrier in the market, and in a variety of other dirty jobs, but his life was getting worse. Desperation led him to the forbidden shrine deep in the forest, the shrine of Fogogboro, a deity known to exchange wealth for life. Trembling, Akomu fell to his knee before the deity's altar, his tears mixing with the damp soil. Great Fogogboro, I am tired of all this suffering. My children cry every night for hunger. My wife is weary from labor with no reward. I seek your help. Please end this curse of poverty upon my family. A deep voice echoed through the shrine and says, Akomu, you know me very well. I do not give for free. If I bless you with wealth, I will take something in return. Are you prepared to pay the price? Akomu did not hesitate. I am ready. Take anything you want, but free me and my generation from this suffering. The deity laughed, a sound that sent chill down Akomu's spine. If you are sure, listen carefully. Tonight, lay a white cloth over your children and perform the ritual. Do not fear, they will not die, but we will take something small from them. In return, your wealth will come. Akomu was happy. He went back home, bathed, changed dress, and he went ahead to the market. Buy white cloth material as the deity for Fogogboro instructed him to do. That night, under the full moon, he laid a white cloth over his children. He recited the incantation and threw the cloth back to the shrine. Fogogboro accepted it, smiling. Now, start a clothing business. Even if you begin with credit, your wealth will rise in 3 months. But there is one rule. You must touch every piece of cloth you sell with these 5 white cloths from the ritual. Each time someone buys from you, they will lose 10 years of their life. Do this and the riches will never leave your lineage. Return to me in 3 months for my final instruction. Akomu obeyed. His clothing business flourished overnight. Customers poured in far and wide. Soon, Akomu was the wealthiest man in the land. His name spoken in awe and admiration, but he kept his secret well. Every garment he sold was touched with the cost cloth, and lives were being shortened with each transaction. After 3 months, Akomu returned to the shrine. Elated, he fell before the deity, thanking him profusely. But Fogogboro laughter was cold this time. Do not thank me yet, Akomu. You have only begun. Here is my final instruction. From this day forth, your lineage will never know poverty again. All your children, grandchildren, and every generation that follow you will never live past 40 years. This is my price for your wealth. Akomu's joy turned to horror. His hand shook, his breath quickened. No, my children, my grandchildren, my generation, they will not exceed 40 years. Why? Yes, the deity confirmed. No one from your bloodline will see their 41st birthday. That is the price you have paid. Akanmu wept, but then, after long silence, he wiped his tears and whispered, at least they will enjoy 40 years of wealth. It is better than living a long life in suffering. He left the shrine, his soul heavy, but his pocket full. He had made his choice, but at what cost? Years passed, and Akanmu family flourished. He became big. He established his fabric factories, where he produces different types of attires from Ankara to George, lace, and many more. No other fabric factory could stand his capacity of production and wealth. Someone that couldn't feed 1 square meal becomes a multiple factory owner. He started exporting different fabric to other countries. His children were well fed, dressed in the finest clothes, educated in the best school, and they support him in his business after school and anytime they were on holiday. His wife Morayo became one of his most popular distributors of fabrics, both locally and internationally. Akanmu's first son, Akani, became an engineer. Ajoke, the only female child, became a medical doctor. And Ajani, the third child, became a businessman, managing his father's fabric factory and businesses in diaspora. The last born of the family shows law as professional, flourishing and expanding. Akanmu built houses, mansions. In fact, their engineers who built his houses were professional construction workers from overseas. He and his wife and children travel around the world living luxury life. All his children are grown, married to beautiful wives and husband, and all become shareholders from his fabric company because the company has become so large they all need to support the family business. But Akanmu carried a secret weight of price for his wealth. He didn't disclose to anyone. As his first son, Akani, reached his 38th birthday, Akanmu's joy was tainted with fear. He knew what was coming. On Akani's 40th birthday, celebration filled the air. Laughter and music echoed through Akanmu's grand mansion. But as the clock struck midnight, Akani clutched his chest. His face contorted in pain. He fell to the ground, gasping, before his body went limp. Akanmu watched in horror as a son, his pride, took his last breath. The course had begun. 2 years later, Dr. Ajoke, the second child of Akanmu, was mistakenly shot to death when she was driving home from work. The following years were filled with dread. One by one, Akanmu's children succumbed on their 40th birthday. By the time Akanmu himself was old, he was surrounded by wealth but alone. His grandchildren, now in their 20s, celebrated with sorrow in their hearts, knowing their fate that was sealed. Akanmu, now weak and frail, he traveled to his village, visited Fogogboro one last time. Please, Fogogboro, I beg you, reverse the course. I will give you back everything. I will return everything. I don't want wealth again. The deity Shoku. Akanmu, the deal is sealed. The wealth will remain, but so will the cost remain, but so will the price remain. Did you not say 40 years of wealth is better than a long life in poverty? Akomu fell to his knee, wailing. He had doomed his bloodline for eternity. The mansion he built echoed with silence. He had money, but no family to share it with. He had power, but no joy. Akomu returned home. He lived long in wealth. However, the curse continued from generation to generation. As he took his final breath, Akomu realized that wealth brought with life is a curse far worse than poverty. The villagers spoke of Akomu's story from generation, a tale of warning. Beware of wealth that comes too easily, for the price may be greater than you can bear.